Hey everybody, it's Spy here. And Jack is here as well. He's being quiet for no reason. Jack, we have some things we want to talk about today. But before, don't forget to like and subscribe if you like the content you see here, as well as checking out our other things on Reddit and Twitter. So let's get into the thing here.
All right, so we're a little late on this.
Why did you go quiet right at the beginning of the video?
Because normally I start off and you just started talking.
Oh, okay.
Threw me off balance a little bit.
All right.
It's all right, though. We'll make it. So, we know we're a little late on this, but as everybody knows, update 31 for The Elder Scrolls Online has dropped. Or ESO 7.1.5 is, I guess, the official version name.
That makes more sense to me than update 31. I feel like if we're going to do it by lists like that, it just doesn't...
Yeah, they've given it two different names.
Well, I mean, you got to go by expansion.
So I guess the PC version dropped first on the 23rd, and then consoles it released a week later. At face value, it seemed that they just kind of added some content to the game and maybe, a few bug fixes here and there. But we're going to talk about it because looking at the patch notes, it's a little more in depth.
They broke a quest line that
did.
Makes me mad because I want a training dummy. And I was like, I'm literally one piece away. And they had to break it.
Well, it's a big game. It's a lot of programming.
Nah, I'm a little upset about it because I did all the work that day and then found out.
Yeah. So, to start with, I'm going to read through the summary list of all the changes, then we'll kind of delve into the depths of what exactly got touched by the updates.
My cigarette broke.
It happens.
It broke at the fucking stem of it, like the bottom. Look, we're doing this thing, but I'm real off topic already. Let's go on. Go on.
So, obviously on the service, you have the Waking Flame DLC, which is what the update, new version, expansion, however you want to look at it, is known for. They have added 2 new dungeons, new item sets, new collectibles, outfit styles and dyes, new furnishings, and new achievements and titles. And then, specifically to the base game, they have made some changes to PvP campaign, rewards for the worthy. They've added, in a beta mode, they've added multi-threaded rendering for those who are CPU locked.
Which, have you been using that?
I have, and it's I can't say that it's a noticeable difference because I've kind of made some changes to help performance of the game. It doesn't look as it's not everything's not as sharp and as vivid as what it was, but I don't necessarily think that has anything to do with the multi-threaded rendering. I think that's more along the lines of the changes that I've made.
Well, still, I mean, has it helped your performance out any?
I think it has.
That's good.
It's directed, like I said, for or at people who are CPU locked and they either have an APU or whatever. They don't have a
full-fledged
graphics card, right?
Or a higher end computer as well,
right?
Yeah.
So in addition to that, interaction priority changes, mail replies, new collectibles, new furnishings, and tutorial portal videos, which is, I'm not exactly aware of what that is, but we're going to find out together.
I don't even know what that means.
And then onto the fixes and improvements. Let's see. they have implemented some fixes and improvements to the Blackwood chapter, Clockwork City, Dragonhold, Greymoor, Imperial City.
Yeah, some
Morrowind.
real improvements to that Clockwork City.
Yeah. I mean, I get it.
You want
the left arm.
I already got the left arm. I got the left arm. That's fine. That's not the problem. It's the quest that's broken to get me to the area that I need to be in to get the other part.
It's gonna be okay. They're gonna fix it.
They better. I'm a little upset about it.
So
I'm upset about it now to bring it up in 2 different videos.
I forget which one I said last, but Imperial City, Morrowind, Murkmire, Orsinium, and Somerset. And then they've also implemented fixes and improvements to combat and gameplay by way of combat and abilities, the champion point system, and itemization and item sets. And then to the base game in Alliance War and PvP, art and animation, crafting and economy, crown store and crown crates, dungeons and group content, events and celebrations, exploration and itemization, housing, quests and zones, the user interface, and what's listed as miscellaneous.
Jeez, man. Did they change anything that wasn't like? Did they not change one thing?
It was probably the reason that the quest broke. It was a very in-depth, far more in-depth than I think at face value people generally thought it was.
Well, I mean, I thought it was just going to be a dungeon, some sets, and maybe some bug fixes, stuff like that. But I didn't expect them to go whole out. I mean,
yeah, they touched a little bit of pretty much everything. So, speaking to the Waking Flame DLC itself, they have added 2 new dungeons, which are the Red Petal Bastion and the Dread Cellar. The Red Petal Bastion is found in northeastern Glenumbra.
Ooh, so they put it in an old zone as well.
Yeah, the entrance to it is east of the burial mounds, and then the Dread Cellar is located in northern Blackwood, northwest of, I'm going to butcher this name, Wilke.
I think it's Welk. It's Welk, I think.
Wilke, for anybody who wants to...
That's Welk.
Assess how I've said the word.
I played Oblivion, it's Welk.
Both dungeons do include a normal version in addition to a veteran version. Each dungeon is a 4-man group dungeon and features challenging hard modes for each of their 3 boss encounters. There are unique item sets.
How many unique item sets? One for each type per dungeon, right?
Yeah, let's see here. Before we move past that, or past what's left here and get onto that.
Oh yeah, you're still trying to do professional stuff right now.
There are unique achievements available for completing the dungeons, including unique body and face markings, mementos, titles, and housing items. So, as far as the sets go, in the Dread Cellar, you can pick up the light set Scorpion's Feast. It has a 2-piece bonus of 1096 max magicka, a 3-piece bonus of 129 max or magicka recovery, 129 weapon and spell damage for 4 pieces. These are the more balanced sets that I think a lot of players, including ourselves, wanted for more balanced builds.
There aren't very many balanced sets, and there aren't very many penetration sets.
There are not.
So I'm happy to see that kind of stuff come in.
So for the full 5-piece on the Scorpion Piece light set, when you deal damage to a fully charged heavy attack, you gain an imbued aura for 10 seconds, granting you and up to 3 other group members 307 magicka and stamina recovery. The effect can occur once every 20 seconds. If you deal damage with a fully charged heavy attack with an imbued aura active, you consume it and gain an overflow aura for 10 seconds, granting you and up to 3 other group members 307 weapon and spell damage.
So it's more group based.
Yeah,
that's good.
More
group based sets. A lot of them aren't that group based.
They're not. You don't see that a lot. And then you have the Rush of Agony, which is a medium set, and the 2-piece bonus is 129 stamina recovery. 3-piece bonus is 129 weapon and spell damage.
Good to see that again.
And let's see here. The 4-piece adds 1487 offensive penetration, so that's going to be spell and physical penetration. And then the 5-piece bonus for the full set is when you deal direct damage with a blink, charge, leap, teleport, or pull ability, you pull enemies within 10 meters to you. After 2 seconds, you deal physical damage to all enemies within 7 meters. This effect can occur every 8 seconds and scales off of the higher of your weapon or spell damage. The pull will not apply crowd control immunity to a target.
So here's the thing about that. That actually sounds like it would go really well with the Warden.
It does.
I mean, slam, go, right. You know. And I slam so much. I mean, the thing is, though, I also put the pull on the ground already from my charge. The little fire thing that goes on the ground.
Right.
And I think that's a bleed effect. I can't remember if it's bleed or physical. Either way, though, having another thing applied to that,
right,
I could really see the benefit from that.
Right.
And here's the thing. Since I run cleave as well, I could also run one of the arena weapons, like the master's weapon to get cleave as well. Just bunch up a bunch of enemies. I could see that going really well.
It's an interesting set to look at, and obviously they are very much clearly directed at my more balanced builds, if I can talk right. And then let's see, we have the heavy set, which is the Crimson Oath Rive. The 2-piece bonus is 1487 armor, 1206 maximum health for 3 pieces. 4 pieces adds another 1487 armor. Having the full set, when you use an ability that applies a major or minor buff to yourself or an ally, you send out a wave of energy that reduces the armor of nearby enemies within 12 meters by 3541 for 15 seconds. This effect can occur once every 12 seconds and will only occur if an enemy is within range.
So that sounds kind of like a utility.
It is. It does very much sound that way. And the way that it reads, it seems like you can keep it active pretty much all the time.
I mean, the Nightblade, even. I mean, I could see that going for him. He's a healer, but I could see a utility out of that more than just a tank.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, absolutely.
Like the effect specifically.
You have a debuff that lasts for 15 seconds and can be applied once every 12 seconds. So the debuff lasts longer than the cooldown.
I mean, it's 100% uptime if you keep it up yourself.
Right.
You're going to move the microphone. Sorry for everyone whose ears probably just got blasted by that.
I didn't see it pick up any noise, but yeah. I did move the microphone. Sorry about that. Let's see here. There's a monster set.
Oh.
Let's look at that. All right.
What? We need more monster sets.
The monster set for this one, the Dread Cellar, is the Magma Incarnate. The 1-piece adds 129 magicka and stamina recovery. Again, a balanced set. and then
I
having
mean,
both.
that's not even just balance. That's pretty good. Just
It
all
is.
that's good
It
for any kind of magic user. If you use any spells,
Yeah, because as a magic user, I think we've talked about this before. You cannot get away from using stamina, but you can get away from using magicka.
you can get mostly away from it. There's the thing about it is that even my warden uses a little bit of magicka. At a certain point, you kind of have to.
Yeah, there's certain skills, but there is, like, it might, take a lot of thought and a lot of effort put into it. There's going to be a combination of skills for stamina characters, more than likely, where they don't have to rely hardly at all on magicka, but stamina is a sprint, block, roll, dodge, bash, any of that stuff.
Well, I feel like whenever I use my spells, it's like casting like the wizards of old with spell slots almost. Like it's
right.
Like once it's gone, it's gone. I gotta wait a little bit and then
yeah, you're caught up using a resource you don't have very much of, and then suddenly you're trying to manage almost nothing.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, though. I can recharge stamina, so I can roll, dodge, and sprint and everything else. Whenever you got 2 stabs, you better get good at walking real slow.
So this one in particular is seems to be directed at healers, or characters that do healing. Maybe not healer role, like built role characters. But so having both pieces, having the full monster mask set. When you heal yourself or a group member with a single target heal ability, you grant the lowest health group member within 28 meters minor courage and minor resolve, increasing their weapon and spell damage by 215 and armor by 2974 for 10 seconds.
Ooh.
Daedric energy will then bounce to a nearby group member up to 3 times, applying minor courage and minor resolve for 10 seconds. This effect can occur once every 15 seconds.
So that's a That's a 75% uptime.
That's let's see here. You can keep that active 2/3 of the time that you're in combat.
Yeah, or 66% then.
Yeah.
You got about 66% uptime on it, and I mean, that's a lot. I mean, the guy our healer, maybe we should get him that set.
He's going to have to get the level 50 CP 160 first.
Well, once he gets there, get him that set so that he can buff my Templar.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, I need more spell damage. I don't got enough.
So
4K spell damage ain't enough for me.
Yeah. It's all about that penetration, man.
I got just enough.
So those were the new sets for the Dread Cellar. Now we're going to move on to the Red Petal Bastion. So the light set found in this dungeon is called Thundercaller. It adds, for 2 pieces, 1487 offensive penetration.
Whoa, for 2 piece?
For 2 pieces, yep.
Man, that could be ran just...
That's pretty good.
I mean, hell, even if you're someone who runs like Arena, because I've been considering a set with Arena and a monster mask and shoulder for the Nightblade.
Right.
And I know that would be taking away from another set.
Yeah, but if you balance it right, like there are builds that run. I mean, you can make a build that runs like 4 different sets as long as you're getting what you need to get out of it.
I mean, I could get the penetration I need as well as another set, I think.
Right.
So that would actually work out pretty well for that, I think.
Let's see here. The 3 and 4 piece bonuses are both 129 weapon and spell damage. And then the 5 piece bonus is dealing damage with a fully charged heavy attack calls a bolt of lightning at your target, dealing shock damage and leaving a 4-meter lightning crater at the location for 6 seconds.
Ooh, sorcerers are going to like that.
Yeah, I am. Dealing shock damage per second to enemies touching the crater. This effect can occur once every 12 seconds and scales off the higher of your weapon or spell damage.
I do like that there aren't any chance-based ones. I haven't seen any chance-based.
Yeah, we have not run across that so far.
I much prefer stat.
You can tell that this one is or at least in my opinion anyway, it seems that this one is viewed by the developers as a little more powerful of a set because it only has about a 50% uptime because the effect lasts for 6 seconds and can only be procced every 12. So
I mean, the thing is, though, I mean, even a 50% uptime is still pretty good. I mean, you're going to get it out regularly enough during a fight, and as long as you sling your fireballs enough, you'll be all right.
Let's see here. All right, so the medium set is called the Grizzly Gourmet. 2 pieces adds 1096 maximum stamina. 3 pieces adds 129 weapon and spell damage. 4 pieces adds 1487 offensive penetration. 5 pieces does 2 things for you. It adds 526 maximum stamina.
That's nice.
And then dealing light attack damage grants you a stack of Baker's Delight for 5 seconds. When you gain 3 stacks, you create a sweet roll next to your target for 5 seconds. If you or an ally touches the sweet roll, both you and your ally gain one of the following effects. You either restore 1593 health, magicka, and stamina, gain empower for 10 seconds, or gain major force for 10 seconds. The effect can occur once every 2 seconds.
Well, hell, I would just...
Wow.
That's kind of powerful. I think the only thing is that you have to move for it.
Yeah.
I mean, moving for it could cause an issue. Major force and empower, I don't know how useful those are going to be. The only reason I say that is because my builds already kind of use those.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I already have them.
There's ways to get them already. So, major force increases crit damage by 20%.
Which I already have that. And major, what was the other one?
Empower is, what is that? Increases damage of light, medium, heavy attacks by 40%. Increases the damage of overload attacks by 40%. That's decent.
I mean, I've that's already gotten from two-handers though as well. So
yeah.
I mean, I guess it's nice to not have to do anything to proc them.
Right.
Like, you can just get them. I would say that.
Well, for here you have to accumulate. You have to accumulate stacks, and then you have to move to the sweet roll. Look, I'm getting a little hung up on the sweet roll because that's kind of funny.
Here's the thing that's getting me though. Can you get? Does it say anything if there's a stack, like you can get 1 stack per second, or can you just get the stacks as often as you want?
Dealing light attack damage grants you a stack of Baker's Delight for 5 seconds. When you gain 3 stacks, you create a sweet roll next to your target for 5 seconds.
Okay, so
I'm assuming you have to accumulate. So dealing damage with the light attack gives you a stack. It doesn't seem to say that it's so much time in between, but it only lasts for 5 seconds. So you have to light attack 3 times within 5 seconds.
Well, I mean, you can do that.
Because
I mean, that if you think about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, hell, I could even do that with a spellcaster. If you're a spellcaster character, now that medium armor gives spell as well, you could, hit.
Yes.
It procs, and by the time you hit, the next one's gonna proc another sweet roll, meaning that you can just become more utility than anything. I mean, utility has its place. I think a utility character in every dungeon it makes things run smoother.
It does.
I'd rather take a utility over 2 damage, like full damage.
Yeah, you don't. I mean, I know there's a lot of buffs that are weaved, buffs and debuffs that are weaved into the builds and the different skills and class, abilities and whatnot, but
utility just can't be overstated.
It can't. It's.
I'd
say it's probably overlooked a little bit.
Well, sacrificing your own damage or healing output to make everyone's job a little easier, I think that's something that's, a little overlooked, yeah.
All right, so we have the heavy set, which is called the Silver Rose Vigil. 2 pieces adds 1096 max stamina. 3 pieces adds 1206 max health. 4 pieces adds 1096 max stamina.
Okay, that's kind of weird for a heavy set.
5 pieces. Blocking and attack grants you a stack of Realm Shaper for 15 seconds, gaining up to 1 stack every half a second.
Well, that's not good for you though, because you have to block.
When you reach, that's all right. I don't need to block, and I think we demonstrated that the other day. I know that when I was walking through Davin's Watch and randomly got a invitation to duel, they figured out pretty quick that I didn't need to block. It was a Templar, by the way. Well, somebody that got buffed.
Here's the thing: you didn't build a blocker. You built a wall.
Yeah, I built a grindstone. Like, it's real hard to fight a grindstone. So when you reach 3 stacks, you consume them and launch necrotic energy at your attacker, dealing magic damage and applying major maim for 12 seconds, reducing their damage done by 10%. Once you fire the necrotic energy, you cannot gain additional stacks of Realm Shaper for 12 seconds. Damage scales off of max health. Now that's interesting.
Here's the thing
that is definitely a tank set.
Here's what's weird about it though, is it grants stamina but does magic damage.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess as you said earlier, you can't get away from stamina.
No, and a lot of, in my experience so far, a lot of tanking abilities that are like clearly tanking abilities cost magicka, which is weird because this grants stamina. I guess it's for blocking, because it's based on blocking.
Then you'd be blocking with stamina, likely, yeah.
Right. And then the monster set here is called Prior Theoric. The 1 piece adds 129 weapon and spell damage. The 2 piece, dealing direct damage with an area of effect ability, creates a 6-meter shadowy whirlwind below your enemy for 7 seconds. Enemies within the whirlwind take physical damage each second and increase their damage taken from your area AoE abilities by 5%. The effect can occur once every 15 seconds. So it lasts for 7 seconds. You get an extra 5% bonus to AoE damage, and it can occur once every 15 seconds. So it's again about a roughly 50% uptime, just a little bit shy of that. But
now I don't know if I would replace Celine's with that, but I could see doing that because I do a lot of AoE damage on the Warden.
I get that weapon and spell damage, like offensive. I understand offensive damage is important. It's how you stack your bases for critical. It's how you stack your bases for how much damage you do, the higher your penetration goes.
Well, because crit's applied after all other.
Right. So I get that. The monster sets that I personally run are usually critical chance related.
I don't know, like with that, right? With that specific set, Celine does it procs a bear every time when I hit with a direct attack.
Right. And
that bear does a good amount of damage, and he comes out every, I can't remember if it's 12 seconds. I think it's 12.
So you got 2 bears.
Right, well, I got a bear, then I got a bear that swipes at you and disappears.
So are you trying to put together the Berenstein bears?
Well, look, it's not Berenstein, it's Berenstain. That's that Mandela effect.
You know what?
Look.
Tomato.
No. That set though, I could see replacing Celine with if it came out to be better. 5% extra AoE damage. That's a lot of extra damage for me. So I could see a benefit there, especially because CP levels. I mean, CP levels. It takes 20 CP points to get the same effect.
Right.
So if you start to weigh it,
right, it is base damage is important. It just is.
It depends on what kind of build you have.
Stuff the scales off of the higher of either spell or weapon damage. So base damage is important in and of itself.
Would I replace Celine's with it? Maybe. I could see it being about as equal on value.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on what you're fighting. Celine's is better for a single target. That would be better for multi. That would replace Storm Fist for me.
Right.
That's where I would put it.
Yeah.
That's a better Storm Fist, in my opinion, because I'd rather do base damage than chance damage.
Right.
But I do love Storm Fist. I love it. Because
It's-
10% chance off all attacks is kind of stupid, especially when you bleed.
Right. Alright, so new collectibles, outfit styles, and dies. So outfit styles apparently covers the 2 monster sets, and it is stated here that they rarely are obtained by completing the veteran dungeons, each one of them respectively. So I don't know if that means that they won't be in the shoulders. Most of the shoulders to a monster set you can obviously obtain in the Undaunted chests. I get the impression that these will not be there. And then the helmets are, as I understand it, guaranteed to drop from the final boss in a veteran dungeon. And that's how you go by getting the full set, which the shoulders are kind of iffy.
I think, and you're actually... Let me read it. Oh, no, that's the outfit style. That's not the piece.
Okay, yeah.
So defeating it, you have a chance to get the style, not the piece. The piece, I think, is the same as it normally is, which is by the shoulder, the head drops off. The last boss.
Right. I guess we'll have to see during the time that we're doing our daily Undaunted. So, Undaunted dungeons. Let's see here. Mementos. The one memento that's mentioned is the Agonium Stone, and it can be obtained by earning the Dread Cellar Conqueror achievement.
Jack, I'll be right back. You go ahead.
Let's see. We also have markings, which are the Shattered Chivalry Face Tattoo, which can be obtained by earning the Arcane Analyst achievement. The Shattered Chivalry Body Tattoo can be obtained by earning the Red Petal Bastion Conqueror achievement. There's a new pet that's been added, a Scorian Pyreling pet, and it is obtained by earning the Waking Flame Explorer achievement. And then dies, the Moonshadow Orchid die can be obtained by earning the Waking Flame Delver achievement. Let's see here. Also, we have new furnishings. There's a new bust and trophy furnishing have been added to commemorate victory in each dungeon. In addition, completing these dungeons on any difficulty unlocks purchase of 2 new achievement furnishings from Undaunted Quartermasters, the Silver Rose Banner and the Agonium Stone Inert. And then the new achievements and titles. Actually, the Waking Flame introduces 47 new achievements, 4 new titles, 6 new collectibles, and 1 new die.
I'm back, everybody.
So, the Silver Rose title can be obtained by earning the Bastion Breaker achievement. Seeker of Artifacts can be obtained by earning the Prior Offenses achievement. The Dreaded title can be earned from the Battlespires Best achievement. The Incarnate title can be obtained by earning the Unshaken achievement.
There's one guy with the name Nerevar who's been waiting for that title since the game came out, and you know it.
Yeah, absolutely. Nerevar Incarnate. Somebody is getting real excited right now.
That guy is probably going to be spending his whole day farming for that title. Whatever it is. If you got the name Nerevar and you don't get that title, come on. You're doing yourself a disservice.
If you got the name Nerevar, you got real lucky. That's what happened.
What it means is that you were the first guy to log on and take that name.
Yeah. Alright, so base game changes. PvP campaign. For update 31, the existing no CP Cyrodiil and Imperial City campaigns will now also prohibit proc sets from firing. Let's see, they've expanded the number of sets from the original grouping that worked during the initial test several months ago. As a refresher, the following sets were not affected by this rule set when it was originally implemented back in February, which is a good list. Amber Plasm, Armor of the Trainee, Beekeeper's Gear, Crafty Alfiq, Drow Hunter, Endurance, Fortified Brass, Grace of the Ancients, Hunting's Rage, Impregnable Armor, Law of Julianos, Leviathan, Mother Sorrow, Plague Doctor, Shackle Breaker, Spinner's Garments, Spriggan's Thorns, and Willpower Agility. This following sets will now also function with these campaign rules. Wow, that is an even bigger list. Alright, so I'm going to link...
Yeah, link
instead
that.
of reading this, because it's just ridiculously long, like, when you look at it, you'll understand why. I'm going to link to this if you have not read it yourself. It's about 1/4 of the way down the page, and it lists an unimaginable long list of sets. And then additionally, Volendrung has been disabled in the no CP, no proc campaign.
Well, I mean, that kind of is okay. No CP campaigns are kind of for a more equal basis anyway.
Right.
So that kind of makes sense for the ball and drum not to work there. I don't know how I feel about Stormfist not working, proc-based sets not working in Cyrodiil, but I kind of get it.
Yeah, it levels gameplay. It does.
It makes things easier to balance, but I do still feel like if I got the set, I should probably be able to use it. I mean, but I
in
also...
some capacity, yes.
I mean, I said this to you once before.
Yeah, I think it was around the time that we were reviewing the information, like personally reviewing the information.
And, you know, the only reason I'm actually okay with it all is because, I mean, I saw proc-based stuff ruin World of Warcraft's gameplay in PvP. So I kind of just, I guess I got a bad taste of that in my mouth. But still, when it comes to it, Elder Scrolls Online is a pretty balanced combat. And I don't really see an issue with it, but I can see where it could cause issues.
Yeah. I mean, you already have, you got Battlegrounds. They turn off CP levels for that and stuff. So
I mean, Battlegrounds are just for fun, really.
They are.
And I know that you can climb the ladder in them, but damn, they're just more fun than anything.
So, speaking of Battlegrounds, rewards for the worthy. They've added 3 new item sets to it as well that are acquired through rewards for the worthy.
Dark Convergence. Oh, I love it. I love that set.
It sounds very interesting.
Oh, you got to read it. It's amazing.
So, it is a light set.
So, I've been real quick. I want to say this. I've been farming this set for the Nightblade.
It looks like a good set to have. So, it's a light armor set. It 2 pieces adds 1096 max magicka, 3 pieces adds 1487 offensive penetration, 4 pieces 129 weapon and spell damage, and 5 pieces casting abilities that leave an effect on the ground will create an area that applies a 60% snare and pulls enemies every 2 seconds after a half-second delay and stun them for 1 second. I don't know why they put an S in there.
Here's the thing about that.
After 4 seconds, the area deals magic damage to all enemies in the area and additional magic damage to enemies within 3 meters of the center, increasing the damage by 10% for each target. The effect can occur once every 15 seconds and scales off the higher of your weapon or spell damage.
So you remember Inevitable Detonation?
Yes.
It's gotten changed. And I'm sure we'll see that later. But the thing about it is it got changed so it no longer does damage based on how many are in it. That now does.
Yes.
Which means I want that set. And I wonder if it works off healing. Because it leaves something on the ground.
Right.
Which means that since
it says any ability that leaves an effect on the ground.
Right. Well, I also have Manifestation of Terror. I dropped 2 traps. Does that mean it's going to happen? Which traps are going to do it on? I want to know. But either way, it doesn't really matter that's broken. It's broken fun.
Absolutely. That's a set that I may personally try to farm as well.
I mean, just leaving things on the ground, I mean, that's one ability.
Immobilization in any kind of PvP situation is just, it's invaluable.
And stun. I mean, and a stun. It's a stun and damage and a slow. Like, it's got all the things that you could want on a PvP damage set.
It's funny. It says right here in the developers' comments, the set was designed with one goal in mind: kill large groups.
I mean, that's what I want it for.
Yeah, and it looks like that's exactly what the whole point is.
Good. They got more things that I want.
Right.
I feel like if you're catering to me, you're probably making some things crazy.
So yeah, I agree with that statement. So the medium set, it's called Plague Break. The 2-piece, again, this is, I think, unusual because I haven't seen very many sets like this. The 2-piece adds 1487 offensive penetration. You have 12 slots. You can stick those 2 pieces in those 12 slots. Like, if you're not running a monster set.
And you know what? That even...
Offensive,
I mean...
Like, penetration is the closer you get to bear skin.
I think penetration is the job of the weapon. And I understand I'm probably in the minority there. Because Nirnhorn. But,
right.
like... I mean, that right there, plus if you're doing dual wielding... That plus a mace, you basically have 2 maces.
Yeah.
I mean, and you make one of your mace, you make your mace with the extra increase to your penetration. Guess what? There you go. You got 6k penetration. That's bare bones. It's all you need to have.
A mace with sharpened and 2 pieces of this. Yeah. That's a pretty good amount of penetration.
I really stick by that though. You need 6k to even be comparable. Like when it comes to anything in the game, really. 6k is bare minimum.
What is 6k? 10%? 6k penetration work out to about 10%, I think.
And you need that at least. If you don't have that, you're really pushing hard on you.
Yeah.
I mean, you need to be able to get through things.
Right. So the 3-piece and the 4-piece both add 129 weapon and spell damage. And then having all 5 pieces, dealing direct damage to an enemy turns them into a plague carrier for 10 seconds, dealing disease damage over the duration. If the plague is removed early, it explodes, infecting enemies within 8 meters of the carrier, dealing disease damage. The explosion deals an additional 10% per enemy hit. This effect can only occur once every, it says 100 milliseconds. And scales off the higher of your weapon or spell damage. Set is only applies itself to any target that isn't already under the effects of the set. So that's an interesting effect. It sounds like you're setting people up to get hurt by their own team members, which is kind of funny. And then you have, let's see here. The heavy set is called Hrothgar's Chill. Mm-hmm. 2 pieces adds 1206 max health. 3 is 1487 armor. 4 is 1487 offensive penetration again. And 5, stunning or immobilizing your enemy causes them to burst with frost magic, applying the chilled status effect and dealing 26% of their total physical and spell resistance as frost damage to themselves and enemies within 8 meters of them, and can occur every 7 seconds. That sounds like a lot of damage. Like, if they have very much resistance at all, that sounds like a lot of damage.
I mean, hey, I'm okay with a lot of damage.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who isn't. Alright, so multi-threaded rendering is an optional performance optimization available in the video settings panel. The option enables a separate thread for the render process, which can improve performance and provide a smoother overall experience if the limiting factor on your device is CPU processing rather than GPU processing. The setting change is only applied after a client restart. The feature is currently in beta, so if you experience any negative effects, turn it off. I think that's good. Not everyone playing the game, like, okay, so me, for example, I have a mid-range, gaming laptop. It has an APU in it, so it does not have, a dedicated graphics card.
Right.
It does have decent hardware, but it's not like top of the line. It's around the mid range probably. So adding something that provides smoother overall experience is, it's preferable. It makes better performance optimization available to more players, which is good.
Well, I mean, you don't want a wall.
You don't want a weird frame rate.
Yeah.
Bounce around and stuff like that. So
I will say this though, I do wish they would just open up crossplay.
I do, yes.
I mean, like, I get why there's an issue a little bit where it's like, console players play with controller and PC, but I get it kind of.
I mean, I play with a controller on PC.
But you play with a controller, and the game is more mechanical than it is anything else, and that's where it comes down to. I think it would breathe life into all the platforms a bit more.
So,
but I was gonna say, going back to what you were talking about with penetration.
Yeah.
And I was talking about as well. So the thing is, in PvP specifically.
Yeah.
From what I understand, I was reading up on it here. That's why I went quiet for a minute.
Yeah.
What's your armor rating? About 33k.
Yeah, it's depending on if I activate a buff or not. It's 30 to 33k. So I hit the cap.
So what's your resistance then to like flame damage?
Like 50%.
Right. So you have about a 50% flame resistance. Now, if I was to penetrate, if I would penetrate without any other buffs, I have a 10k penetration.
Right.
Okay. I take 10k off your thing.
Right.
So that would mean that you would have about how much?
So I would have roughly 23k. I know the math. I do know the math works out weird. It's divided by like 6,000 or something like that.
Nonetheless, I mean, we're doing kind of rudimentary throw math.
So
50% divided by 3.
Yeah.
Would you divide it by 3, or you divide it by, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You're adding another 33% or so.
33% of your 50% is taken off. So that's about 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, so about 15% more damage from my attacks.
Yes.
If I have 10k.
Right.
If I have 6k, what the Warden does.
Right.
Which is bare minimum, that means I take what, maybe, I think maybe 7% or so?
Yeah.
Roughly. So I take about 8% of damage off of your armor. So I increase my damage.
Right.
Which is why penetration is king.
Yeah.
Is like penetration, you have to hit at least
you can't
6k.
You can't make headway if you're not breaking through the armor. You just can't.
No, and so like your armor baseline, like your damage baseline, then gets, so you have to take it all into consideration. So if I'm hitting you, my damage is then halved.
Right.
But then it crits. Well, I crit for 75% more.
Right.
Or 85% more.
On the subject of crit, I will say I do believe the crit resistance is a different thing.
Yes.
I think the mathematics behind that, like the system behind that, I think works differently.
It does, but because
they put a lot of emphasis on that in PvP.
Right. So, but rudimentary math, throwing it up, whatever. It's not exactly right, but
right.
Essentially, if you think about it, if you take 50% off of it and I crit you, then I'm only doing 25% more crit damage.
Right.
Which means that if I had 0 penetration, I mean, I have to rely on a crit to even do 25% more.
Right.
When baseline, you get 50% crit.
Right.
Just for when you crit.
Yeah.
So it's really kind of one of those situations where it's like penetration's more valuable than a lot of people give it credit for.
It is.
I think a lot of people give it credit, but when
Those are the people that you know, who's giving it credit because they kill you quick.
I mean, the issue is you see a lot of people running sets that are just full on damage and they don't have penetration. Mm-hmm. You have to have something. You have to have something to get through the armor rating.
Yeah, absolutely.
Without it, you're going to be missing things.
Right.
Speaking of which, you said duel it. You said if someone wanted to step up, they could duel you.
I did.
I think the Nightblade's looking for a duel.
All right. Well, I mean, I've beaten the Warden and the Templar so far.
You haven't beat the Warden that bad. The Warden's close.
I mean, a win and a loss is a win and a loss. I got beat a lot in the beginning.
I'm
getting a little more ironed out now, so it's more grindstone-y, right?
Here's where your issue's gonna come in.
And I took a bigger heal, by the way.
Here's where your issue's gonna come in. Nightblade's got a lot of you'll see it later. You'll see it later.
All right.
You'll see it later.
Just remember I'm picking up.
It's gonna be fun.
And just remember I'm picking up the inner light skill.
That's all right. It's all right. Look, it doesn't matter because I'm about to smack you with some penetration.
So
I got 10k on him just sitting. That's from like armor and shit.
Yeah, I've already actually started planning the modifications that I mentioned to the Sork tank build. I think I'm going with a more hybrid type thing.
I mean, now would be the time to test
taunt
it.
And
now would be the time to test it. Now would be.
But the hybrid is nowhere near done.
Well, no, but I'm saying now is the time to do it. If you would have told me 2 years ago, I would have been like, "Are you sure you want to do a hybrid?"
Right.
But now is the time to do it.
Well, I'm doing it. I'm actually doing it without. I'm doing it more so with skill changes and Mundustone changes than I am with gear changes. I'm actually not changing any gear. I am going to have to pick up another
spinner staff.
Yeah, another spinner staff. Dear God.
Hey, I bet you. Hey, look, you either get it out of a box or you drop 100k.
Right. I'm probably going to get it out of a box because I think I got about 500,000 alliance points sitting around right now. So
I mean, I hope so.
I would hope that I get it.
I mean, if
not.
It is luck.
I'm going to be running Battlegrounds fucking Cyrodiil for a long time.
I mean, you know what you should do? You should go and spend all of them, get as many spinner staves as you can.
Yeah.
Upgrade them.
And then sell them.
Yeah. And sell the fuck out of them.
That'd be a good plan. Spinners is a good set though. Like
it's a genuinely good set.
Yeah, I fully because it gives you like 3,000 and something spell penetration.
I mean, that's one of the few sets that do it until now.
Let's see here.
And even the new sets don't give you 3,000. I mean, fuck, 3,000 penetration extra. That's just crazy.
It is. So, yep, the 5-piece set gives you 3460 spell penetration.
What's yours? What's yours called? You don't have a normal spinners one? You have the
Spinner's Fractured Femur?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a special item.
Oh, look at you. Aren't you special?
So, my penetration's is going to go from 7 to 11.5. No, that's back bar. Hold on. 11.7?
You have way too high of resistances. I hate it.
Yeah, and that's unbuffed. It's just setting at 38, 30.8.
Hey.
Hey.
Stop.
No.
Stop.
Like I told you.
No.
Look,
stop. You said you'd call out tanks. You already called them out hard enough. You're good.
I said early on, look, if you're going to tank right. Please tank right. Because you're a tank, do your job. If you're not, I will, and I'll do it better. And look, I know there's some controversy around whether or not I'm actually doing it better. I get that. But I'm sitting around with 30k, like, unbuffed. 30k, so I'm like right at the cap for PvE stuff, right?
I mean, here's the thing though.
Yeah.
Did I not witness? I think I did witness you stand in a boss fight on your own solo.
Oh, earlier?
Yeah, you were just standing, like, this is a boss fight.
Like, I'm watching a video on freaking Spy's laptop, and I'm standing next to the boss doing some, like, AoE and
I was like, hey, come look at this dying. I'm changing the color and the armor of my thing, and you're like, I'm in the middle of a boss fight, and I'm like, all right, and you come over here, and you just leave your character getting hit by, like, 4 days rots.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I had some abilities out, so
no, you didn't.
Right.
You were just standing there for a minute. You didn't even care.
I mean, that did happen when the timers ran up, but
you were just standing, and you were taking hits that like would kill the warden in like a minute and a half.
Well, like my health regen is retarded.
I say a minute and a half. I would die.
Yeah,
you have a health regen of like
that freaking dude, the banished cells to final boss fight has so many freaking day drops or whatever the hell they are.
Yeah, but you were standing there.
Yeah.
Like you didn't even mechanic. You just stood there.
I mean
everything was glued. I mean, it's glued to you. I guess it doesn't matter if you mechanic or not. No, whenever you have a resistance so high, and
there's no taunt needed whenever I'm solo. But
I think you need to take a step back and realize you've already kind of got it there, man. You've gotten there.
That's why I'm gonna hybridize, because and not change the gear set.
You don't need more damage.
Because the Mark of the Pariah set, as I take damage, increases my resistance.
I hate your
sets.
So
I'm setting at 30,000.
You kind of just figured this out too quickly.
I hit the cap.
You figured this out too quickly.
So
you saw this shit going on. You were like, I got it.
I've been playing games for a long time. Like these types of games for a long time.
I know. But you went into hibernation for a while.
I did.
And now you came out and you're like, hey guys, don't forget, stats are king. Like, I'm going to show you.
They are. They're it's all, it's whatever. But
yeah, 13
you gotta start
years.
With the numbers, man.
What was it, 13 years that you didn't play games?
I don't know if it was that long, but it was a pretty long time. It was nearly a decade. I didn't really play. It was very leisurely.
So for roughly 10 years, you had all this old MMO information or RPG information, and then for 10 years you did nothing, and then you came back and were like, I'm gonna fuck up worlds.
It's, look.
You were like, oh, I see there's something went wrong and I don't know when. Because I've been gone.
Yeah.
But I'm about to show up, and I'm going to show you how to do it.
Like, the guy, or I say guy, the player that just randomly encountered, wanted to duel me.
The duel?
Yeah, the duel. Good. That's probably
Were you in the tall grass?
Huh?
Were you in the tall grass?
I was in the tall grass, yeah. So I was walking through the city just on my, doing my own thing. I was on a quest, and a little thing popped up, said, well, I don't even remember the player's name, wanted to duel, and I'm like, all right, cool.
I think you picked the wrong guy because you got a wall.
He wasn't happy.
He didn't realize that the sorcerer.
He did compliment me, though. He said, good build.
I mean, sorcerer.
But, he should. He's a Templar.
Sorcerer. You're a fucking sorcerer.
Yeah.
And you decide, that's not who I would have assumed to be the tank.
Sorcerers make good tanks, man.
But I wouldn't
They have the best damage shield in the game.
But I wouldn't have assumed it. If I saw a sorcerer out in the world, I'm like, that guy shoots lightning.
That's because most of the time people use them for DPS.
But
and it's understandably so.
You know what?
I understand why.
I want to see. Look, no one on the channel's seen him yet, but there will be a tank warden coming up. I'm starting to level on him, and when I'm kind of I don't ever see tank wardens, probably because I'm always grouped with you.
Yeah.
But I don't see very many in the world myself.
Right.
And maybe that's just me. But I kind of want to show a tank warden off as
I think it'd be interesting.
I think a tank warden could work.
Mm-hmm.
I think a tank warden.
There's a lot of.
There's a lot of buffs.
You have to think outside of the meta box that's been created, right?
Well, I think what I'm going to do is sword and shield. And
that's a good one, yeah.
And then for my back bar, I'm probably going to do a frost staff.
Because, look here, you ransack and start taunting and dropping their resistance.
Yeah.
You got a good situation going.
I am really heavily debating on frost staff, though. But I think I am.
The
reason for it is extra frost damage. I think it's 10% more frost damage.
Right.
And then I'm just going to make storms go on.
Yeah. And, honestly, frost is normally the way that tanks go.
I mean, frost is good. It's good. And, I've been using it on the Templar to freeze people in place in battlegrounds, and you've seen that.
Yeah, that was kind of funny.
Them poisons.
Those poisons are broken, is what they are.
I'm a max level alchemist. That's not really a brag, but I'm a max level alchemist. I might as well utilize it.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck, why would I buy my potions when I can just make the same thing?
Funny enough, it's one of two things that I'm not maxed out in yet.
Alchemy's powerful for PvP.
You almost have to have it. I think enchantments are not as far as PvP goes, I don't think enchantments are the way to go. I think poisons are.
Here's the thing. I'm liking poisons enough that I might start running them in PvE more. But here's the thing. The only thing about them is that a lot of the poisons just don't function in PvE.
No.
But I do like them. Like the Templar doesn't even use enchantments anymore. Like even in PvE. Because I just used the double poison.
Right.
Which is banned in duels apparently. Which I find funny. But I mean I understand why. It's
they kill fast.
2.4k damage per second off of a poison.
Yeah.
I mean
you're getting jabbed.
I mean, no, it's not only just a jab. It comes out like...
No, I know.
But... When I hit you with a frost, or with my fire thing, I start playing Street Fighter with you.
Yeah.
I knock you up in the air, and then I go... do-do-do-do-do. And then you're just, a duke and fucking...
Oh.
It's a straight fireball up into the air, and then I'm just throwing you up. I'm playing Soul Calibur.
I like it.
I love Soul Calibur.
I think it's some odd... I guess.
I think we went over most of the things here.
There is a lot. We're not even half down the page.
Well, hell, how
honestly?
I mean, we got through the big parts. Oh, that's all Blackwood stuff. That's not actually all the other.
They did fix some things with companions, it seems.
Yeah, they talk less, right?
Yeah, they talk less. There's certain. It seems Miri mostly. There is a Bastion one here.
Look, if they don't get Bastion to shut up, if Bastion, I swear,
he does not talk less.
I'm gonna snap on Bastion. Like he's always so cheerful. Like I'm tired of it. Man, we're in a combat arena. Stop. Be more grizzled. Stop being that.
Oh, they made fixes to trials.
Oh, we don't really do trials.
No.
I mean, I'm interested in doing them, but I'm just more of a dungeon guy.
Yeah.
Smaller groups, quicker. I don't know. I kind of like the small group situation.
Hey, did you know the devil flies were showing up in Blackwood?
I mean, I did not, but I don't know why I would have been.
It's a little odd, isn't it?
I don't know why I would have been caring about that.
Let's see here.
I mean,
look for some more important, interesting ones.
I think we got through all the major changes. We got through the big things, and everything else is hot fixes, really.
Yeah.
So, either way, let's wrap up a little bit, give our opinions on the whole changes.
Hey man, look, there's a rogue and his rice fix.
I don't care. It's a quest change, right?
I'm just curious about why rogues are eating rice.
Look, sometimes it's hard on the road.
You gotta be lightweight.
It's hard on the road sometimes, man. Especially for the Nightblade.
Wait a minute, hold on. I'm gonna read this. I have to read this. I feel obligated to read it.
We've been reading for the last hour.
Look, a quest in the Dragonhold DLC game pack called A Rogue and His Rice. They fixed an issue where one of the rice sacks for the quest wasn't properly instanced for everyone, leading to an unpleasant rice looting experience.
Has rice ever been a looting experience that was pleasant?
I don't know if those words all go together in a sentence.
I mean, a rogue needs his rice, man. Rogue needs his rice. And it better not be unpleasant.
Look, it sounds a lot like they fixed the rice and they broke your clockwork, is what happened.
Here's what I'm going to say about clockwork. If we don't get the rice treatment, I'm going to have an issue. We need the rice treatment.
Hey, they had typos they fixed.
I mean, look,
that's understandable. There is a ton of text in this game.
I mean, there's also a lot of voice acting and everything else. Like, this game has a lot of writing. So, I can only imagine every now and then,
You can now get a antiquity lead from harvesting alchemy nodes in Shadowfen.
I mean, I got one from harvesting one in
Cold Harbor.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing.
I didn't, honestly.
This game is so big, I just run across new things randomly.
It's very difficult to just be comprehensive in your knowledge. You can understand the basics and how most things work, but it's pretty rough to like literally know everything.
I mean, Morrowind was like that, but I retained a lot of information. But this game is just so big.
This is funny. Just
Yeah.
the way they wrote it's funny. It says you no longer must remain in solitude while in solitude. You can now get married at the Shrine of Mara there.
Oh wow! All right, good. I mean, I feel like that was.
Wow, there was someone you couldn't loot in solitude.
That's weird.
When you kill them.
I mean, look, if I can't kill a guy and loot him, I'm gonna be a little discouraged from killing and looting. And I think that's not the right path we should be looking at.
So the Black Rose equipment box is now available to any level character, not just level 50 characters.
Hmm.
And it will grant gear scaled to your level.
Okay.
Let's see here.
Man, there's so many things.
There is a ton of things. I'm only halfway down the page.
I think we're good. Let's stop reading all these up. Man, these are just hot fixes at this point.
Where's the thing? Hold on.
I'm holding.
I'm hodling though.
I'm not gonna hodl anymore. I'm just gonna have the storm take me.
Man, they did something with Dragon Knights.
I've had a headache for the last hour and a half.
Look, they literally debuffed everybody else except Necromancers did get a buff.
I mean,
or they got a fix anyway.
It wasn't even a buff. It's not a buff. It's a fix.
It's a fix where a skill was getting misclassed.
That's something weird.
Unnerving Boneyard Morph was not getting considered as an area of effect attack, which would then lead to CP level problem.
I mean, yeah, because you wasted your points on that.
Right.
It's literally a circle you put on the ground.
And then, I don't think we need to talk about this, but Templars got buffed, because fuck Templars.
Fuck Templars. I play a Templar.
It's kind of funny, because we started out with Sorcerers, or rather you did.
Look, hold on.
And now one keeps you from getting killed in dungeons.
The only... Look, just because I benefit from a system doesn't mean I support it. I've said this many times this week.
This is... So, alright, look, Sorcerers got debuffed, or
good.
Nerfed.
Fuck them. Fuck Sorcerers.
Look, I don't know why you would... I did not know this, or why you would need it, because I don't know why 100 projectiles would be coming at you per second.
I think I know why.
But... It says
it's called Templars.
The ball of lightning now only absorbs up to 1 projectile per second, down from 100.
I think that's just a fix.
That sounds intense. That sounds like a typo. Like they put an extra 0 or something in it.
Someone didn't quite code right.
The developer comment says, this ability is currently enabling far too much protection against ranged attackers, not only for the caster, but their allies as well.
Really?
Meaning
100 projectiles?
Meaning skilled sorcerers can just straight deny any ranged threats when properly utilizing this skill for them in their group.
Like, I don't even know where you'd find 100 projectiles.
Somebody was going, look, I'm Merlin, okay? And I'm going to do this. We're going to be just straight up immortal when it comes to archers that stand off in the background. Let's see here. Wardens got a little bit of a buff.
I mean, they need one. I vote for all warden buffs.
It's very minor. One of them, they got debuffed too.
I hate it.
Or they got nerfed a little bit too.
I hate it.
The Winter's Embrace Frozen Gate ability went from 30 seconds to 15 seconds.
That's not even... that didn't need to be changed.
And then... But the buff that they got was Green Balance, Accelerated Growth. The passive now grants Major Mending for 2 and 4 seconds on proc, up from 1.5 and 3 seconds, which is not major.
I mean, hey, an extra second of Major Mending. I like that. I get it. All the time.
Let's see here.
Because I'm a Major Mending bee.
Destructive Touch in its morphs in the Destruction Staff skill line.
I use that on the Templar.
now guarantee respective element types status effects on hit.
Yeah. So whenever I hit you, you burn now, and that's just real stupid. That's a guaranteed burn effect. Like,
as a result of that, though, the cost went up.
I mean, I also decreased the cost because of staff.
Yeah, let's see here. Range from 15 meters to 14 meters for better consistency, since destructive clinch was already 15 meters. Frost, touch, and reach versions of this ability now deal 30% more damage on its initial hit to make them equal to the other range spammable damage attacks to give love to those Frost DPS out there. I think that's fair. I'm going to say I think that's fair, because Frost in DPS, general, Frost doesn't do as much damage.
Well, it should be on par with the rest of them.
I think it should, yes.
Yeah, it's I mean, well...
You're causing elemental damage.
Well...
Okay, look, if I freeze you, it's going to hurt.
Well...
Like...
Hold on.
It may not hurt the same way if you were on fire.
Hold on.
But being cold enough to
You're
stand
not
still.
On.
No, I'm not holding on.
Look, no, it's an issue. It's a fucking issue because, look, you are going to be immobilizing people and causing... I don't think the burn effect or the shock effect is as powerful as the frost effects, thus meaning maybe it should be a little weaker, maybe.
Well, all right, look, you have shock effects help you manage resources better.
That's powerful. But is it as powerful as an immobilize? Is it as powerful as immobilize or slow?
Yeah, because I can cast more spells than you. Because I can replenish faster.
Right? I don't know. I lean.
There's about 1,000 difference on a heavy attack.
Yeah, but like that's a
every
little
two
much.
Heavy attacks.
That's a little much.
Is roughly a spammable skill.
I mean, look, that's enough of a difference. But I think it should be about 500. I don't think they should do 1,000 less, but maybe 500 less. I mean, it's immobilizations and shit, man. That's just broke.
All right, but it does go. I'll say this too. Let me add this to the Frost version of Destructive Clinch. It has remained tank focused rather than DPS focused.
Because it has a time.
And it received a cost reduction to 1485, which is down from 2700, which I think is a little bit much. That's a little much. That's quite a bit much, actually. That's 1300 almost. And applies major maim for 5 seconds.
Yeah,
at rank 4.
I use both.
So I'm assuming both of those things are rank 4. I could be wrong.
I use both of them, and they're both pretty broken.
Yeah.
Any other big changes?
Oh, so this came out of update 30, which I guess would be what, Blackwood?
Yeah.
Because there was an introduction of the Frostbite set, and then that spawned a lot of discussion on the viability of frost damage sets and how their main drawback, regardless of power, was there was no frost damaging ability that could be used as a spammable attack.
Unless you're a Frost Warden.
So...
Wardens, though, man.
Yeah,
more people need to play Wardens. Look, here's what I was... Look. Put this in at the end card. Look.
Oh, Bloodthirst got morphed.
Fuck the...
or got nerfed.
Fuck the goddamn sorcerer establishment. They're a bunch of wizards, and they think they're better than us, but they're not. Us Wardens and Dragon Knights and all other classes, including Templars, even though fuck Templars, know that sorcerers are all just big narcissists. And while Jack may be one of our allies, how much can we trust him? He is a sorcerer still. Can we really trust a sorcerer?
You probably shouldn't.
I mean, like, look, did it work out? Look, for the people who played World of Warcraft, it didn't work whenever we trusted sorcerers before. They got corrupted. And, like, I don't know. Jack might go a little wild someday. And I think we should all be looking out for it.
Yeah, you're right. Here's your magic and detonation. There's your magic and detonation you so beloved before. Reduce the base damage. And its morph by approximately 60%. but they did increase the scaling per target to 100%, up from 25%.
No.
Abilities now deal less damage than a normal area of effect spammable until it hits 3 or more targets. So you need to hit a group.
I'm not always so happy. Why am I not happy with a lot of these changes and then love a lot of the other ones?
I am going to say this. I am primarily unhappy with the Templar thing.
Like, it's up and down.
Templars are... Like, alright, so if you've ever run into a Templar, you have a problem more often than not.
Because all of their shit heals.
Right, they stay alive and they deal some serious damage.
It's stupid. They're from level 5, they're healing 40% of their damage, and then all the way up to level 50, and they just think they're immortal. It comes with an ego. It comes with an ego.
Unless you're good, they kind of are immortal. Like,
I mean,
I'm not saying they are, but unless you need to be playing the game.
They're stupid. They're stupid powerful, and you could build them around almost any set in the game. Like, and I get that that's good, because like every class should be viable within its own with all the sets, but Templars just take advantage of so much. They really do.
Hey, they did actually. So it was presented in some other places that heavy armor didn't really get touched, but that's actually not true. The Juggernaut, they reduced the damage reduction bonus from this to 1%. Or no, wait, hold on. From this star to 1%, down from 2% to ensure its power is similar to other damage reduction sources in regards. Maybe I'm reading. Yep, I'm reading CP stuff. It's in the fitness tree. Okay, I got confused for a second because there is a similar passive on heavy armor.
He's already starting to slip everyone. The establishment's going to come down. Watch out for Jack.
Yeah. I think that's...
I hope that's a wrap up. Is there anything they didn't do in this update?
I mean, there's not a whole lot they didn't know.
I mean, I know one thing they didn't do. Fix the Clockwork City bug.
Yeah.
They actually caused it.
Yeah. I saw something where they're aware of it, though.
Yeah. They're aware of it, and it'll be coming in an upcoming hotfix patch with no date and no information. So it'll just be fixed when it's fixed. I guess anyone who wants a training dummy, you might as well just go buy crown coins.
They're renaming the Mid-Year Mayhem, which is
that's kind of weird.
Unimportant, I guess.
I mean, yeah. But this has been a weird energy on this video.
There's just so much stuff here to go over. It's a lot. I'm gonna link this down, like, for anybody who hasn't read it, or if
I'm ready to go to
you
bed.
don't, somebody that doesn't know where to find it, but I'm gonna link it. I doubt if you're a devout ESO player, you don't know where to find it. But
the thing is, right? Out of all these changes, I don't know if I'm happy with a lot of them, but I am happy with a good amount. It's an up and down.
Werewolves were not restoring stamina from heavy attacks.
What?
That's what it says right here.
That doesn't make sense.
They fixed an issue where heavy attacks made while transformed did not restore stamina.
Well, that doesn't make sense. I don't think I ever had that issue.
It may have been a thing that happened in the last.
Oh,
you haven't been really using it.
I haven't been using it.
It may happen in 30, and then they had to fix it in 31.
Yeah. I tell you this. I think now we're good for a wrap up.
Yeah.
There's so much there, and why did they do? Like, I get why they did a lot of this,
They even did stuff to guilds and guild functionality.
Jesus.
Guild traders, system mail informing you of your mercantile victory. Will have the guild's name listed in bright white font.
There's just so much.
It was a big one. This was a big one.
I mean,
it's a lot bigger than, I think the general statement about it was.
Yeah, they didn't announce that this was going to be a bigger patch, but then they touched everything with it.
Yeah, it made, and not even necessarily from them, but like I know I've looked at other content sources about this to try and kind of piece together my opinion about it before it came out, and nothing that I saw made it sound as big as it is. So I'm gonna guess there's probably so obviously the Clockwork City quest that Spy over here is seething about.
I'm not seething. I'm justifiably upset. It's justifiable.
I think you're overly upset. You know what? You have a guild hall. Go to the guild hall.
Why? No, I don't want to have to go to the guild hall.
But you can teleport there.
I can, but I don't want to because it's inconvenient. Because then I have to get.
How is it inconvenient?
Because it's in Cold Harbor.
It's all right.
That's inconvenient for me.
That's not inconvenient.
It is inconvenient.
You were in Cold Harbor picking flowers.
I was in Cold Harbor picking flowers.
You making a bouquet?
Yeah.
Of soul-shriven flowers?
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
But the issue is that I don't want to have to go all the way to the Cyrodiil estate so that I can then walk. And I always get lost in that damn city. I do. So, I don't know why, but it's one big-ass circle, and for some reason, it just don't work.
It's because circles are bad, okay?
Okay, but, you do circles. Are you saying that sorcerers are evil?
Some of them are.
Are you?
Did you watch Lord of the Rings or anything?
I did, and I told you myself that I like the Hobbit trilogy better, and I'm saying that I will say that on channel enough. That's how much I believe it.
You're wrong.
I'm not wrong. Right. The Hobbit trilogy was a worthwhile experience.
They were tired of making movies by the third movie.
No.
Yes, they were.
They were good movies.
You can look, sit down, watch them in order. By the third Hobbit movie, they were tired of it.
Look at me with your eyeballs.
Yes.
And tell me that the Hobbit movies were not good movies.
I didn't say that.
No.
They weren't better than Lord of the Rings.
But they're better than fucking Harry Potter.
Look, that's a different world.
But are they better, though?
That's a different world.
They're better. No, the Hobbit movies were better than Harry Potter.
No.
And I know it because I didn't care enough to finish the Harry Potter trilogy.
It's not my fault you're Gen Z.
No, it is your fault.
No.
It is because, you guys, your age group above decided to have children. I mean, you could have stopped it here.
Look, if Harry Potter wasn't good... I understand, by the way, everybody listening, I understand this has gotten to a weird place.
We trailed quick, but look, it's wrong. You're wrong.
Here's the thing.
You're wrong. No.
J.K. Rowling
took
an idea.
Which is bad.
And became a goddess.
She's bad. She's bad at writing.
Empires.
I don't like any of the Harry Potter ideas. It doesn't seem interesting. They just do.
How do they not see
because it's just wizard school. It's wizard school. It's for kids. It's a kids movie.
Yeah.
And it's not even a good one.
And enough people agree.
Cars was a better kids movie.
No. Debate
me on it. Cars was a better fucking trilogy.
You like Cars because you like Cars.
Well, no, I like Shrek better than I like that.
Now you look. Now you're just saying stuff to be contradictory.
I'm serious. No, Shrek was better. Shrek was more interesting than any Harry Potter movie. I swear to God.
No.
Hand on Bible. Mm-mm. I'm serious.
That doesn't mean much from you.
I know it doesn't.
Okay.
But I'm telling you for straight up. All right? I actually enjoyed the Shrek movies more than I enjoyed Harry Potter, the little bit I watched of it.
Here's what he's not telling you guys. He doesn't watch TV or movies.
I do. I watch a few.
He's watched The Witcher.
Look, I didn't even finish The Witcher.
That's fucked.
I didn't.
You're going to make a claim like that that you just made, it didn't finish The Witcher.
Well, I didn't finish it. I have more important things to do, like
Look,
play Oblivion.
Your argument is null and void.
I have to play Oblivion again.
No, because Morrowind's better.
Well, no, that's a debate.
That's not a debate, and you
There's
know
a
it. That's why you
debate.
pause.
Look,
That's why you pause.
No, look, okay.
Because one game invites you to break it.
Oblivion has issues, but I love it more.
That's all right. I allow that.
Oblivion is my favorite game. Look, here's the thing. You can claim that any of the Elder Scrolls games are the best except Skyrim.
I saw him playing Skyrim.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
When?
When you were trying to show off mods.
Yeah, because mods are the only way you can play Skyrim. I played it for 5 minutes.
I'll say that, no, it was longer than that.
It was 5 minutes.
It was longer than that.
You can't out me like that. I never once...
I can. If you're going to say that the Hobbit movies are better than Harry Potter or on par with Lord of the Rings, I can say that.
I mean, I also can say that I saw you give yourself 10,000 gold in Morrowind on your level 1 character. I taught you how to use the console, and this is what happened.
I was testing it.
No.
Like, I didn't know it was even a thing.
I shouldn't have shown you the console.
And here's the thing.
I shouldn't have shown it to you.
Here's the thing. I know the exploits, so I would have got there anyway.
I should never have shown you how to cheat.
Hey, you know what?
What?
I owned a Game Shark and a Game Genie.
I know, but like, PC cheating is
what PC gaming is built on, yes.
No, it's not what
yes,
it's built
it is,
on.
because you have console commands.
Well, that's not what it's built on.
Okay.
But it's important to know, because like...
It's important? Yes.
Well, it's important because, well, Bethesda games like to break, so you need console commands to stop the breakage.
If you can go in and change the source code to a game...
I'm going to say this. Bethesda games really like to break, and I've had many situations where a console command saved a save file. Because, like, I literally just couldn't move or, like, anything because I got stuck between a cheese wedge and a barrel.
Sounds like a personal problem.
No,
that's what it sounds like.
Look, cheese wedges are also important. Like, I mean, Che Agoras, cheese for everyone. Mm-hmm. You know, words to live by.
Yeah. Flesh Atronachs, I know.
Flesh Atronachs are so fucking cool, though.
I don't know. Like, look, there's a quest where you have to assemble one. Like, that's kind of weird.
No, it's not weird.
It's weird. You're taking like.
Well, it's the realm of madness. It's the realm of madness, and that's what it should be.
Yeah, but that's like the flesh that hates or something.
It kind of does
messed
hate.
Up.
It does hate because it's an angry beast.
Yeah, that's not supposed to exist.
I mean, like, it's also implied that like a dark elf woman birthed it, which is kind of also weird.
Yeah.
But like, look, Oblivion likes to do things that are not normal,
right?
And that's why it's my favorite. It is.
I think that's probably the draw of the Elder Scrolls in general is they do stuff like all right, Morrowind was like being on an alien planet.
It really is.
Right?
Yeah, there's fucking shrooms everywhere.
Yeah, and big like long-legged like silt striders, and it's odd.
I'd say there's
like it's the Ashlands, right?
I mean, like, the whole fucking volcano is a scary concept.
Of course it is.
Like, when you first play that as a kid, like, you don't know what you're doing. Now you're getting chased by cliff racers, and then Dagoth's whispering in your ear while you sleep, giving you sweet kisses. Like, it's weird. Yeah. It's weird. It's a weird franchise full of weird shit, and Oblivion really, like, amps that shit up.
Yeah.
Here's why I think Oblivion, like, starts to feel weird when you play it. Is because Radiant AI was like a big feature.
Yeah.
So like they talk to each other. So like you hear conversations where someone's like,
right.
It's bad. They're bad. They're like, hey, have you heard some things from Morrowind? And then the person's like, yes. And then they're like, goodbye. And then he's like, hello, goodbye. And then they just walk away. And then you're just left. You heard that.
Yeah.
And it's like 3 p.m.
Yeah.
And no one else is in the city for some reason. Like, everyone else is in their homes just chilling. That's
because these guys are creeping around doing something they shouldn't be.
It's weird. Like, Oblivion has this weird feeling of, like, nothing's quite real.
Right.
Like it's like looking at like styrofoam men. Like, everything is kind of just held together with toothpicks. And, like, they didn't try to, like, put real things on it. They were just like, nah, it's a toothpick, and then we're gonna say that it's a character.
That's all right though. That's where the love of the Elder Scrolls comes from.
I mean, Morrowind was also held together with toothpicks and like safety glue.
Yeah.
Like they had stick glue that they give to kindergartners.
Oh yeah.
And they were like, you know what? Dagoth, his whole chamber, we're just gonna hold it together. We're gonna put it together real carefully with this deck of cards. And if anyone touches something wrong, it'll shatter. But who would do that? And it's bad.
It'd be alright.
Look, come meet me in the heart chamber of Akulakan.
Oh my goodness.
Fucking Dagoth has the best quotes. Like, come to me openly and not through stealth.
Yeah.
Like, you brought the false copy of Sunder. Oh, shame on you, Nerevar. Oh, spare me. Oh, spare me, sweet Nerevar. It's the funniest shit. Like, I think that's why the game's beautiful, is because it's just, you hear shit like that. Like, look, you've been chased by cliff racers for the last 4 hours, and then this guy's saying, spare me. You're just like, all right, man. All right, look, I fought 4 of your dudes to get here.
Yeah.
And I just like, at this point, I'm deep enough in with murder.
Yeah.
I can't go back.
Yeah.
And I killed the Archmage. And there's pool of blood. And it won't wash off. And the only way I'm gonna finish this is if you die next. So let's just wrap it up. I'm gonna stab the heart of a god. And we're just gonna call it a day. We're just gonna fuck, but that's it. We're gonna call it a day, and we're good, okay? I got Moon and Star. Took me all day. I got it. God is there a star? Took me all day again. I'm struggling here. Do you have mana potions?
Yeah.
Like, just it's fucking Morrowind is a goddamn trek where the whole time you're just exhausted. Your character is just like. Oh my god, I gotta sleep. If I don't pass out right now, like I'm not gonna wait and regen this fatigue. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. I can't hit for shit. And I can't cast a spell because I'm tired. And now I gotta climb that mountain.
Fatigue's a good system, isn't it?
It is. It's a good system. But then you're just if you're not cheesing the mechanics, it's a fucking slog. Yeah. You're just like, I'm done. All right, hold on. And that's the game. That's the game of Morrowind.
Yep.
You sprint for 3 seconds, and you're like, I gotta rest. I'm tired. I'm done.
Yep.
If I don't sleep now, I don't think I'm going to get any sleep. And if I do sleep, there's a chance of a Dark Brotherhood assassin or an Ash Slave or just a whatever coming to kill me. And the whole world just hates me. And I'm supposed to be
You're an outsider.
Yeah.
You're an outsider.
Like, and then you get Moon and Star, and people still don't give a shit that much. Like, they're kind of like, come on, man, just do your shit then. Go do it. Go kill him. Like, you got go do it. And you're like, is no one gonna make me some mana potions? And they're like, nah, you can do it yourself. You're Nerevar. You got it.
I think if you exploited the game correctly,
yeah,
I think you'd be alright.
Mana potions are always the hardest to come by. And I don't know why for me.
Yeah.
Like, I struggle with mana sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just want to sleep real hard.
If you hate spellcasters, their things hate you back.
I mean, look, I hate spellcasters, but levitate though. Yeah. Like, you just float above the world and then you feel like a god. Cause like, you can just shoot ice down, and who's gonna stop you? They can't levitate. You can. But they can't do it. But you could do this, is levitate them. smack them, and then float real high. And then once their levitate goes off, they're gonna fall. They're gonna fall real hard, and you're just gonna loot and leave. You're just gonna loot and leave, and then you're gonna do that with Dagon. And it's just it's fucking stupid as shit. I mean, there's a lot of ways to break Morrowind, but I found a way to break Oblivion, and it's bad. I sent you a screenshot of the spell. Yeah. It's Frenzy and Rally. Yeah. And I called it Enrage, and if I hit anyone with it, they immediately just hit the nearest dude. Like, boom, and then they're just like, punch. And then the fucking guards are like, alright, someone's fighting, get your swords out. Like, alright, bar fight starts, everyone starts stabbing. Like, Jesus. It's funny, I did it earlier to a guy who had a pretty good amount of equipment, and he killed a guard before he stopped in rage. Like, he just went bang, and a guard just died, and I was like, I'm gonna take that. Yeah. I'm gonna take that guard's gear. Yeah. And I'm gonna leave this city faster than I ever have. I did it to the Countess of Bruma. Apparently she's not higher level than 25 right now. I didn't know she wasn't. I just wanted to know if I could, and her bodyguard was behind her. Yeah. And I hit her with the enrage spell, and her bodyguard went whoosh, and fucking beat, and she fell to the ground unconscious, then got back up, and everyone was just like, all right, let's go on with our day now. Like, that's... Oh. The Countess got real crazy, and the bodyguard had to smack it down. Like, geez.
There's too much invitation to play around sadistically in these games.
It's not sadistic. It's NPCs. You can justify it.
I mean, you can, but if you have to, I feel like if you have to justify it, there's a reason you have to justify it.
I think the reason for justification is I wanted to see what would happen. I wanted to see what would happen if I put levitate on this guy and flew up into the sky.
It feels a lot like Darth Sidious was here.
Well, have you ever heard the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
Do it.
It's probably not a story that the Jedi would tell you. Yeah. Darth Plagueis the Wise was so powerful he could even save himself and others from death.
I mean, that sounds valuable.
Yeah. Do it. Do it. Do it.
All right, everybody. I think...
Do it. Kill him. Do it, Anakin. Kill him. Do it. Do it. Emperor Palpatine, what are we gonna do with all this day-old meat? Stew it. That's the best fucking quote from Game Grumps ever.
Killing me.
You have to market this.
All right, everybody.
You have the best job here.
I think we probably
did it.
Rambled on long enough. So we're gonna wrap up.
Thank you all for hearing me.
So the question for this video is: have you come across any bugs or anything broken as a result of the update? If you have, let us know. Just out of curiosity, really. We can't obviously do anything about it, but just out of curiosity. If you watched the video this far, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, share the video, help us keep the community growing.
Do it.
It's real hard to do this with this guy. Anyway, thanks for watching. This has been Jack and Spy, and we will see you guys in the next video.
Do it. You're just gonna leave it going? Like, what the fuck, man? I'm already done with the bit. I'm out of breath because doing it hurts a little.